Hi, everyone. I'm going to discuss a book that I read last weekend, short book from 2018. And um, I was going to, it really triggered me last weekend. And I was going to, do a video review on it. And then just on the cats and dogs, uh, Falsehood. And then the guy on the golf course happened Sunday. Then all week it was Springfield, Ohio, and how that the lie became it was believed, and bomb threats and chaos ensued. And I was reminded, just to digress a little bit, it had to be around like 1978 when I was a kid in Toledo, Ohio, and something happened in India, a tsunami or an earthquake or something, and we took in families into the community in Toledo, and I remember like Akron and Dayton, Ohio, Canton, Ohio, Findlay, surrounding areas. Detroit, Michigan was in on it too, and I made friends with the guy. I remember his name, Deepak Chari, and he had birthday parties. And I'm talking when I was a little kid. And his mother dressed in a traditional uh, clothing, but I don't want to digress too far. But it was it seems to me that's what the Haitians in Springfield were doing, right? So to get it back into the book, I'm just amazed how from 2018 till now things have even gone worse. And I'm talking about the fake news. That's what upsets me probably the most of all the BS and lying that Trump's put us through is the distrust of journalists now. You know, I almost went into journalism back in the 80s, in college, and kind of wish I would have. But I used to, respect journalists a lot. I still do. But in this book by Kakutani, who's a Pulitzer Prize winner, by the way, she, famous from New York Book Review, she goes back into the, loyalty over knowledge, mistrust of agencies and people with expertise. And that's exactly what Trump wants to do now if he gets in. He's just going to wipe out Board of Education, try to redo, Medicare and everything. Just put a wrench in everything. And then his advisors, oh yeah, I forgot Laura Loomer. Yeah, how could you forget her all week? Yeah, it's a disgrace. And Mark Richardson. It's just on every day is something more disgraceful. Now it's Georgia. They want to count. They want to hand count all the ballots. That's setting up for inaccuracies, where then they can. It's just like J.D. Vance did with the cats and dogs. It's like an arsonist who lights the fire, then calls the fire department. That's what they're going to do in Georgia. They're going to muck up the system and slow everything down to a grinding halt, and then claim, like, look at this. Look at this interference. Just lies. Lies. In her book, or in this, it's a small book. It's more like it's an essay, really. But she compares like the young Nazi movement, the rapid progression of acceptance of these things. I recently saw that the January 6th hostages, right? They're all cooped up in the same pod. Yeah, that's right, in jail in D.C. Now, that should never happen. In fact, I know from personal experience that isn't allowed to happen normally. I don't know why it is. I'd like to learn more about that. Watch on the news now in the next coming days. That's going to be the thing. He wants to pardon all the January 6th hostages. I mean, how much more can we take? Anyway, I have a lot of notes on here, even about the evangelicals. Jerry Falwell, they forgive and forget so easily. You know, all the past, Trump's past. It's all in his past, right? Oh, and then the writing of history, she brings up Orwell in 1984, and I'm really familiar with that book. I've read it a few times, and just recently too with a group, and how that the rewriting of history takes place in 1984. I mean, is that what the authoritarianism? Uh, Look at the polls. You know, it's Harris is winning, but it's basically neck and neck. It's scary to me, and it's disappointing to me. My fellow Americans are 50% for racism and bigotry and lies and denial and chaos. Well, let me know either way. Make a comment below. I'd appreciate it. I'll reply back to you and make it a good one. I'll talk to you later.